What's going on, guys? It's a beautiful Sunday. I decided to wash the car, and then my buddy Sanin's showing up, and we're going to try to work on the ATV. He's the friend that I got the ATV with, and the goal is to tune that thing back up. But in the meantime, we got to give this thing a wash. And I got my mismatched wheels on, but man, look at that rubber. It's so sick. So I've got my wheel cleaner, my detail spray, my tire shine. Then I've got various chemicals. I got my foam lance. I got some interior cleaners. I got wax stripper, wax, leather cleaner, VRT for black plastics. I've got the wax that I like to use. I've got the shampoo that we're going to use. Now that we got her nice and clean, let's install the tow hook and the new front splitter. For that, we're going to need to take the front fascia off. Personally, I like to start removing the fascia by getting rid of the wheels. It's much easier once they're gone and the wheel liners are out of the way to just drop it. I used to try to kind of fish around and be all tricky trying to take it off. Personally, I think that's a waste of time. I've spent way more time doing that than just pulling the wheels. So let's do that. Ooh. Man, I forgot how heavy these wheels are compared to my new Apex wheels. Wow, that's heavy. Try not to lose this stuff. I always end up breaking a bunch of these, so I would just recommend you buy a big box of them on Amazon. Because see, like that one just broke. Alright, so that was really easy, a couple of minutes. So guys, this is what it's going to look like when you're done. Now just go do it on the other side, and we'll start on the rest of the install. So guys, now we need to take these, I'm using a 7mm. It may feel like there's a ton of these, but just roll with it. You'll get through them eventually, especially with a ratchet like this. I really recommend one of these if you have one. If not, put this on your list. You're going to really enjoy using this tool. So guys, this piece doesn't need to come off. You can leave these screws on, only this row has to go. So I'm also missing this clip over here. Now that we've got the air dam out of the way, you can take a peek and see what things look like in here. Obviously, I have an intercooler. Most people will have an evap coil there. I don't have an evap coil. I don't have air conditioning on this car anymore. So now that we got the car a little lower on the lift, we need to take this shroud off, and then we can get to the front fascia. So same tool once again. So once you get the last pin out, go ahead and yank this thing out, set it aside. So now with the shroud off, you're going to see you've uncovered a bunch of work for yourself. You also have a screw here. It's missing on my car. I will have a spare. I'll put it in. For this job, you're going to need an 8mm. These are bigger than the ones that were under the car. So again, put them in a separate pile. I'm missing it on this side too. Bad, bad, bad Dimitri. So you will also notice there's a little loop and hook here. So you will have to go to pick it up. This prevents it from just falling when it's sitting like this. So guys, we're now inside the wheel well, and this is the reason that we took the liner off and the wheel off. This little screw right here. Now guys, we'll try to put a wrench in here and do that through the liner. Good luck with that. You're gonna waste 20 minutes doing it. Take the liner off, it's a few minutes. And then this is a 5.5. This is super easy. Don't bother with a little ratchet. I have no idea why anybody does that. So I removed the second 5.5mm screw holding the other side of the front fascia. And now I'm under the car, having raised it a little bit. You could see my air intake and the filter on the blow-off, or the, whatever you want to call it, the anti-surge valve. And now what we want to do is we want to make sure we unplug anything that's connected to the front fascia, like that stuff. The turn signal and the fog lamp, and you want to do that on both sides because that's going to come off with the front fascia, and you don't want to be holding it in your hands trying to figure out why you're snagged. You're going to want to pop the sides, and then with the sides off, I believe you should just be able to walk off. Maybe watch out that there's not stuff behind you. Don't be me. So guys, I haven't showed you this part yet. This is the Ford Performance tow hook. So this is the actual hook part, and this part is going to connect to the bumper support. So that's what we're going to work on. They came with some instructions actually covering like all the models of the S550. These are the kind of instructions you would normally see in like all data or high quality guides like that. So kudos to Ford Performance. Can't say APR did the same, but I mean, they do tell you that they kind of mean for a race shop to do this. So this hardware came with the tow hook, and this hardware came with the front splitter. So these are going to be the support bars that connect it to the fascia, and here's just an assortment of screws and washers. So guys, because I'm actually using my car on the track, high speeds, things like that, we actually need to ensure that this front splitter, which is going to generate significant downforce, is actually connected to the frame of the car. Those little bars are definitely going to help, those rods, they're definitely going to help connected to the fascia and get structural support from that so it doesn't kind of tear down. But this is a riv nut installer and bunch of riv nuts. And my goal is to get the riv nuts into the frame of the car, and then I can use the riv nuts to hold the splitter to the chassis. This way, I don't have to weld. I was initially going to weld up a bunch of stuff, but this seems much cleaner, and I think there's probably factory holes I could even use. So essentially what these tools do is they press on the riv nut into the hole that they're supposed to go into, and then they're permanent. So I'm super tired, guys. It's 10:52. I've been filming for a couple hours. Obviously, it takes me a lot longer with filming and setting everything up than it'll take you at home. Really, you should be less than 45 minutes into this. Much less if you have all the right tools and you've done it before. So to recap the point that we're at now, the front fascia is off. We're ready to remove that bumper support and install the tow hook into it. Then we're going to install the front splitter from ARP. We're going to set it up on the table, measure everything out, and get it installed.